Welcome to Duality Check, the podcast where two brothers embark on a journey through the realms of scientific inquiry, the mysteries of the past, and the uncharted frontiers of spirituality. Join us as we explore the wonders of our world and beyond, all while embracing the roles of curious bystanders rather than experts. Together, we'll unravel the tapestry of existence, blending the dichotomies of knowledge and wonder. Get ready to question, ponder, and delve into the dualities that shape our understanding of reality on Duality Check. I'm Drew.
I'm Dean.
I'm Dave.
Welcome, Dave.
Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and welcome all of you to episode 96, part 2.
May or may not have done this already.
Yeah, that's totally my fault. All the technical issues are always my fault, but yeah, we did this whole podcast last week, and it was great, and I set up our recording setup and then forgot to hit a checkbox that made sure that Dave's mic recorded. So
all good. We're back though, and I think it'll be a good reset for any of us. I mean, if any of you notice that we might not go as deep into certain specific, it might be because we have already had this conversation, but we're going to try our best to recreate.
Oh, we're going deep.
All right, good.
Yeah,
good.
Hopefully we can. There's a couple things I thought of too that I wanted to ask about that. I was like, dang, we should have brought that up. Yeah. So
see, it was meant to be, dude.
It was meant to be.
Totally.
So episode 96, right?
Episode 96.
You guys are getting up there.
I know, dude.
Getting close to 100.
We're going to have to do a little party, a little celebration for episode 100.
Dude, that'd be cool.
I'm proud of you guys, man.
I was thinking we should try and see if we can get all the siblings to come on the show.
Well, we had also talked about getting an audio set up and doing an actual campfire conversation with our siblings, and everybody's just chilling there. You can hear the fire crackling in the background, and we're just all having a conversation about life and all sorts of weird stuff. And that would be a fun episode to do, because if we just had something that's just there, we don't have to think about it. Nobody's wearing headphones. We're just having a good time.
Right.
Hey, G-Man's got the perfect place for a campfire, too.
Ooh, that's
that would be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Even if we just got like a propane one and we just all came out back underneath the patio.
Would we set up a camera to just record the whole time?
Yeah. Just put it up in the corner or something, or even just do an audio only special release or something.
We could do that.
But putting up a camera wouldn't be a bad idea. It just takes an iPhone nowadays.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I forgot last week too. We had a couple comments that I just wanted to highlight
on our YouTube.
Yeah, our buddy Marsimus, he gave us a 2026 duality check. Let's go.
Let's go, Mars.
And then McGlovin TV said, Interstitium sounds so dope. Can't wait for some genius doctors and spiritual gurus to dive into this, help us common folk understand more. Do you remember we were talking about this? Have you heard about this?
It's been a while.
So there was a body part discovered in the last 5 years, maybe. So I watched the whole... there's a Radio Lab episode. I'll leave a link to it, where they interview the doctor involved who actually discovered this. But basically, he's a pathologist, right? So his role at the hospital is they're sending him biopsies and stuff, and he's he has to prepare all the samples, and he's popping it on a microscope and seeing what's wrong with whatever samples they're sending him, right? And so he's used to looking under his microscope at cells and whatnot.
Yeah.
He says when you look at a cell, and he was always taught that this is just because of how the preparations were done. But when you look at these cells, he says you usually see these cracks along the outside of the cell wall. And they thought it was just because they're dunking it in formaldehyde and they're rinsing it and washing it and all this stuff. But he said it turned out that once a micro endoscope was invented, which is the ability to see a microscope that you can see the cells, but in an endoscope that you can put into a human living body. Mm-hmm. He said the first time he saw into one of those, he noticed that those crack-like structures were not there, and instead they were these like full, like tube structures. And apparently it's this entire network that is like connects all over the body, around the cells. Mm-hmm. And apparently they've now learned that 25% of the liquid in a human body is actually in this interstitium structure. And
that's
like,
within the cells, connected.
No, it's outside of the cells, but it's connected.
All
yeah.
the cells.
Yeah.
Is this like fascia?
I don't know what you mean by that.
So fascia is like the web that holds everything together. It holds all your muscles in place. Yeah. It's what holds your connective tissues in place, and it maps throughout your whole entire body.
That I don't know actually.
I think it's like the fascia of the micro world, like because fascia is more for like all of the lumps of cells, isn't it? Isn't it more for like the like muscle tissues and stuff? Like that's what keeps all of that stuff together. But I think the interstitium is more like if you go even deeper into looking at the cells themselves, you see this web-like structure that connects all of the cells individually.
Yeah, so and like it goes throughout the body and it transports fluid, and there's different fluids that and different liquids that instead of being transported through the body in the bloodstream get transported through this interstitium network. And it might be what connects all the cells to one, like they're all working for some purpose or apparently there's been some progress in linking the interstitium with Eastern medicine and like with acupuncture and like the whole meridian system they have over there and stuff. It's super interesting. I'll send you a link to the podcast. It's really cool.
Please do.
And anyway, so there's this whole thing with like Eastern medicine, and apparently they've made big discoveries now about how it's apparently involved in some of the reason why cancer can spread through the body sometimes. Anyway, so it's a pretty big deal. And it's still like brand new science, and they're still like learning all the implications of it. But yeah,
I'm wondering if one of the implications may be like that if it's true that like cancers and other things, like it could also just be like the communication of like whereas we have like neurons that fire and they help us move our muscles and they send signals to all these like fine motor skills and whatnot, but this could be like on a cellular level. So maybe when it comes to like the Eastern traditions of medicine, there's a way to tap into or communicate or have the ability to like get into the cells and have the cells, be manipulated at that same level as like neurons do.
Yeah.
It's like that could be one of the implications if they're studying.
So it's like this like, here, I'll show you guys, hit this real quick. It's like this like network in between the cells that it's not the cells aren't just like floating freely, they're like connected and by this.
It reminds me of mycelium, the way that mycelium
really
the way mycelium is webbed together underneath the ground. We can't see it, but they all converse with each other on this information superhighway, and plants can send each other different nutrients that other plants are lacking. Like in the same garden, if this one's missing some calcium and that one's too high on calcium, it can use that mycelium network to send that other plants the nutrient it needs.
Right, and the mycelium has like all sorts of different symbiosis with different plant life.
Yeah.
And like different, I know there's different, is mycelium a specific fungus or it's all?
The mycelium is all.
It's like the general term.
Yeah, it's the general term.
So there's certain ones that pair with certain plants where you'll see like the plant and the specific type of mycelium paired together quite often. And then there's other ones, and I forget which one he was saying, that I was listening to recently where there's some of types of mycelium where they're more generalist and they can work with all sorts of different plants and they'll connect them together and like pass nutrients between them and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like tree mushrooms as well, like tree oyster mushrooms.
Specifically grow on certain types of trees.
Lion's mane, comb's tooth. These need oak.
Yeah.
Oak is the specific wood that
would be
love.
really interesting if that was like there was some sort of analog to that going on inside our bodies.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
We share a lot in common with mushrooms. It's shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some say that it was the symbiotic relationship between mushrooms and the apes back in the day that created humans that grew the brain, the stoned ape theory. When apes, you would eat mushrooms and it changed their brain structures.
Right.
Over time, they got smarter. And
I think it's a fascinating theory. I think it's just as likely as any other explanation.
I mean, we are all symbiotic with the organisms that live inside of us.
Right.
My favorite mushrooms outside of culinary mushrooms, outside of lion's mane and comb's tooth, is one called Indian orissas.
Culinary or culinary?
Different conversation.
Indian orissas. You guys got to check this out. They come from India. They first discovered them in elephant dung. And the caps on these mushrooms are the size of a dinner plate.
Whoa.
They're huge. They're one of the
Indian
biggest.
orissas?
Yeah, they're one of the biggest psilocybin mushrooms
ever
discovered.
This is a perfect. Hold on. We can look at this.
Oh, yeah, to show
This
them.
is a perfect segue into one of the clips that I brought.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've noticed that different mushrooms have a different feeling, like B plus or
No, that's not what
penis envy mushrooms, or there's all these different strains, different kinds, and they do have a slightly different feeling, a different nuance.
Yeah.
If you ask me, and they have a different chemical composition as well.
Yeah, of course. It's like have you seen Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
I haven't seen that in so long.
the deer weed that they smoke, and they all think they're deer. They're like, your antlers are growing, man.
Dude, there's some kind of mushroom that multiple people giving these mushrooms at different times and places under scientific studies, they all report seeing gnomes, like little tiny small people.
We just went over this.
This last week.
Podcast.
Yeah. Does that come from that Christmas mushroom?
It's got the name in here.
It's right there at the bottom. Go down. It's right there. It's
like the red and white.
What was it?
Do you see it here?
Yeah, I had it and then it zoomed by me. The Jean. It's got a Chinese name.
That looks like fun. I want to talk to a bunch of little people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is like a mushroom that we talked about in the last episode. If you didn't watch last episode, it's this mushroom that all over in in specific parts of the world where they grow. Everybody who's tried them reports seeing, and this is only when they're uncooked. When they're uncooked
or undercooked,
they have this effect. And anybody who has them has reported seeing little people, tiny people.
Lanmaoa Asiatica.
Oh wow, I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah, so it's related to the porcini mushroom. It's a hallucinogenic species, but when it's cooked, it's a culinary delight. Like they eat it all the time.
But there's no psilocybin. There's no psychoactive compounds that have been identified previously in this mushroom.
It's a new genius of the hallucinogenic type.
Yeah, well, and it's a thing that people have been eating for a long time. It's just super, dude. Do you think we can get some? It's probably not illegal here yet.
Those little
it would
people
be fun to try.
They'd probably look at me and be like, "Damn, this guy's really big."
Yeah, for real. Is this the thing you wanted to show, Drew? Here, this one. Is this what you're talking about?
Oh, so this is going to connect to our other. This is going to connect to our topic about the interstitium. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's share this real quick. Let me start that over.
Loading. So it says, before the first heartbeat ever happens, something even more incredible takes place. Takes control.
Is this just music?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't need that.
So if you read the description, I think it gives you a better description. So this is before your heartbeat happens, when you're being developed.
Yeah.
There's this pulsating thing where, so go to the description if you can, to hit more on that. At the bottom.
Over here?
No.
At the bottom it says more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boom.
It says, before your heart even ever beat once, thousands of cells made a silent decision that still controls you today. Before a heart ever beats, life organizes itself in complete silence. Scientists have captured the exact moment when cardiac cells begin acting as one. Seconds before the very first heartbeat exists, no heart chamber, no pumping, no pulse. Instead, thousands of individual cells synchronize their electrical signals, creating a wave of energy that triggers the heart's first contraction and sets a rhythm that can last a lifetime. Using a fluorescent protein and ultra-high resolution microscopy, researchers watched the electrical chain reaction spread, transforming biological chaos into perfect coordination. This is how the heart builds its own internal clock from nothing. So it says why it matters. Disruptions at this stage can lead to congenital heart conditions. This discovery is a major leap in developmental biology and medicine. This isn't just science, it's the origin story of every heartbeat you've ever had.
That's really cool. It reminds me of the work of Michael Levin. Where, what the heck is this?
Yeah, never scroll on Instagram when you're live. You never know what you're going to get.
I was trying to make the description go away so you can see the video again. But anyway, yeah, Michael Levin, he's like a research biologist, and he has found a way to like identify and manipulate the electric field created in your body by your cells. And he says that his research has like he's been able to like take like for instance like a flatworm. This is one of those organisms that doesn't really reproduce sexually. It mostly reproduces because it gets cut in half, and then each half turns into a new flatworm. But he found a way he learned to control the cell's electric field so that when he cuts them in half, he can make them grow with two heads or with two tails by controlling the electric field. And so he's done more research on other life forms and stuff. And he says, basically, this is like how certain animals that can like regrow limbs, this is how they do it, is they manipulate the electric field to tell the cells where to grow.
That's so crazy.
And it's like this whole field is called like biomorphology or something like that. So morphology being like the shape. So like how does your body like know what shape to build itself in? Which is a question that like started haunting me a few years ago. Is like, how the hell, if your cells are just dividing, like how do they know where they are in the mass of you? And
yeah, I mean,
that's the answer.
Yeah, other than the DNA code, like it knows it needs to make its code, but what part of the body is it making?
Yeah, but like how does a cell know that it's like at the edge of your finger versus the middle, or like how does your body know to like stop dividing at a certain point so you don't turn into some weird
shapes and stuff? Yeah.
Like it knows once it's hit the shape that it wants to be to like stop and maintain that shape.
Yeah.
It's strange. Biology is crazy.
Well, and a fact I learned a long time ago is that I don't know what age it is, but there's a certain age that you hit where your body is not made up of any of the same cells that you were originally born with.
Yeah.
Because at some point, all the cells die and new cells grow in.
Yeah, different tissues, different types of cells replace themselves at different rates. And I think it's like the eyeballs that take the longest to refresh, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds
like 6
right.
or 7 years or something before you have like completely new.
Yeah. So it's like, it must be around that age then, or somewhere near there, where like every part of your body is no longer anything like what you were originally born as.
Like every 5 or 6 years, there's no cells in your body that used to be in your body. It's all like, so you're constantly creating, yourself is constantly being created at every moment.
And could that be a part of like, I mean, if that's happening so often, every 6 years is not that long, really, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then maybe that's where some of these like I was healthy 5 years ago. Why am I? Things are changing. Well, you're eating different foods. Your environment might change, and those things contribute to what your cells are experiencing. So if your body's telling it to make different things or whatever, you know. I don't know. We're going to get into a lot because the topic where we didn't really introduce, but the topic is about Dave has a really awesome experience that he had in Barcelona on a trip he took recently, and we're going to get into a lot of the topics that are surrounding that. But you went on a really epic fast in a foreign country.
How long was that?
So I went out there on November 3rd. I went to go see Jamiroquai in concert, one of my favorite bands of all time.
So sick.
Got to cross that off the bucket list. It was so amazing. I also went there to see FC Barcelona. I wanted to see Lamine Yamal play. And I had plans to eat my way through the city, but it didn't really go down like that. After one of the first nights I was there, I had this big, giant, delicious steak. It was like a dry-aged steak. And I don't know if you guys have tried dry-aged steaks before.
No,
but
I have not.
You're
making it sound super appealing, though.
It has like all new flavors from the bacteria that grows on the steak. It starts tasting more like cheese and fruit and nuts.
So we're gonna add some photos to this. You sent me some afterwards.
It was a Carr steakhouse. My barber told me to go there. He said it was his favorite place to get a steak. So they serve your steak at the table and they give you this little
rare, right?
Yeah, they serve it rare as can be. Then you get this little grill, if you will, at the table, this little stone that they heat up with some fire under it. So each piece of your steak you can cook to your liking as you're eating it. So I ate this super delicious steak. And
how aged was it?
I think it was something around like 50 days or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Couple months.
And you said it had like all these notes of like cheese and like fruity notes and stuff in it.
Yeah, it tastes totally different.
That's so crazy. I can't imagine my steak tasting like that. But I mean, do you still get any of the same like flavors as like?
You still taste meat. You still taste beef, but it tastes different.
And like fats, it's still like fatty and.
It's very soft.
Okay.
Yeah, super good. Probably the best steak
ever
had.
And you're cutting it yourself. So they give you a little steak knife?
It's pre-sliced.
Oh, it's pre-sliced. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're using chopsticks or, fork or whatever, and you're just taking little slices and slapping it on the grill as you're ready for a new bite.
What types of, did you try it like just as is, like however they cooked it? And then did you like try like everything in between?
All the stages
from rare to well. And then I'm like, why am I doing well? It tastes way better. Medium rare is the way to go.
A little sear on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had no intentions of fasting, but after I ate this steak, the next day I woke up. I wasn't hungry in the morning. I wasn't hungry for lunch. I wasn't hungry for dinner, and I just felt good. And I told myself, I haven't done a 24-hour fast in a long time, so I might as well do a fast.
Finish it out.
Yeah, so I woke up the next day, same thing. No hunger, no craving for food, just feeling great. So I kept it going, and I kept it going. And I wound up doing a 9-day water fast.
That's freaking awesome. So all you had was water and some salt, I guess, right?
Yeah, I didn't have any salt until the 5th day.
Yeah.
So as I did this, I started doing more research on fasting so I could better educate myself on the task at hand.
Make sure you're not like slowly killing yourself.
Especially after you go like,
let's learn what this is all about. What are the approaches? What do I need to know about this since I'm 2 days in?
So before this, what was your longest fast?
I had done a 3-day water fast before. I had done a 2-week juice fast. Mm-hmm. And I haven't really experimented with dry fasting too much. Like 24 hours is as long as I've gotten on dry fasting because I love water.
Yeah.
But so 3-day water fast was the longest water fast you had done to that point.
Yeah.
So I can imagine you're in your hotel or wherever, and you're like, if it goes any longer, I should probably do some research to make sure I'm not killing myself. Yeah. Is that kind of how it started, or did it start more of just an interest?
Yeah, so that it started with just wanting to heal myself and do something good for myself. I hear a lot about fasting and all the amazing benefits that it has. Mm-hmm. So I figured I'd do it. And man, it healed me in so many different ways that I did not know fasting could heal you. It was an amazing experience. At first, I wasn't doing anything but water for the first 5 days, and I felt great. On day 4 and day 5, I started feeling a little disoriented, a little nauseous, a little dizzy, and just feeling like I was going to break my fast, like I couldn't keep it going. And I put on some fasting videos, and I came up on one from Dr. Eric Berg, and he was talking about electrolytes and how your body is completely depleted of electrolytes when you're fasting, because you're also drinking really clean, filtered water.
Right.
You want to make sure you're drinking like a high pH spring water when you're doing this.
So it would have like micro minerals and stuff, right?
Yeah. So you get a little bit of minerals, but for the most part, you're completely dehydrated because you're not taking any sodium in to hold on to that water in your body. So, like I said, I was feeling kind of low, feeling kind of down. And Dr. Eric Berg said to take a teaspoon of sea salt every day. So I took a teaspoon of sea salt, put it under my tongue.
What was the type you did again?
Malden.
M-A-L-D-E-N?
Yeah, it's a refined sea salt, so it's clean. You know, there's other sea salts, but I would highly recommend getting like a clearly visible white, clean sea salt. You don't want to use like a gray sea salt for fasting because that's going to be higher in heavy metals and contaminants.
Even like a pink Himalayan or something?
I stay away from pink Himalayan just because of the tools that are used to mine that from the mountains. There can be a lot of heavy metals left over in Himalayan pink sea salt because of that. So I just go for a nice, clean, refined sea salt is what I'm looking for.
It kind of looks more like a table salt.
Yeah, so after I took that teaspoon, 2 minutes later, all of my nausea, all of my bad feelings completely went away, and I went right back to normal. And I was shocked.
Wow.
So then I kept my fast going, and I did not feel hunger until the 9th day. And once I felt hunger, it was the day I said, okay, it's time to break my fast.
Yeah, when you actually were like, I need food.
Yeah.
Your body was telling you clearly.
Yeah, you got to listen to your body. You got to listen to your intuition. Your body's always speaking to you. You just got to listen.
9 is a long time.
9 is
a long to be honest, 9 is probably too long.
Yeah.
For most people, probably even for me, I didn't need to do that. I think maybe my ego got involved.
Well, and you were doing research too, and you were probably equipped with all this knowledge of like, hey, it's possible, so let's try it.
And I do see people that fast even longer than me. You see celebrities that can fast for 60 or 90 days or 100 days, and they lose all this weight. And the difference between me and them is they probably had 100 pounds more fat on their body to fast off of, because once you get past 12 hours, you've depleted your glycogen stores in your liver, and you start switching over to burning fat. Once you're at 24 hours, you've pretty much burned through all the glycogen in your body, and you're producing ketones at this point and starting to really feed off your fat. So the more fat you have on your body, the longer you can fast, for sure. The more fuel you have to burn.
And once you're in a deep ketogenesis, I know this from the research I've done from ketosis, is that when you're in a deep ketogenesis, your body can, through producing ketones, can resynthesize the glycogen stores into your muscles. It's just a different pathway, and you have to give your body time to fully switch into like a deep ketosis, because there's a lot of switches that need to flip before your body is fully ketogenic.
You can even help yourself do that faster by what you eat going into your fast.
Right.
right? Because if you're eating a whole bunch of glycogen heavy food, a whole bunch of carbs and sugars all the time, and then you go into fasting, it's going to take you longer to switch over to burning ketones.
Because your body's just going to be like, no, go get more of that shit. You need some more. Because it's easy, quick fuel for your body to burn.
It's already used to burning that.
Yeah, your body's used to burning it, and it's a quick, easy fuel that is like, yeah, we can do this all day.
So if you switch over to eating more
whole foods,
fats, before your fast,
especially,
getting a lot of grass-fed butter and extra fats. Virgin olive oil, salmon, good healthy fats, chia seeds, avocado is a great one. Then you can kind of prepare your body to switch over to burning ketones a lot faster, and there'll be less negative side effects going on during that time for yourself.
My favorite healthy snack is rice cakes with avocado spread, just like fresh avocado sliced and put on there with a little bit of salt and rice cake.
I'm on the ketogenic diet right now, so we can't do rice cakes, but I'll second you. One of my favorite snacks is to just cut a avocado open and do a little garlic salt on it, and just scoop it out and eat it. It's so 100%. Good.
My favorite's eggs now, and I grew up not liking eggs, but this fast completely changed me. And I learned the value of eggs, and it's the best bang for the buck when you're talking about protein, nutrients, micronutrients, healthy fats, vitamins, healthy cholesterol. It has everything you need to sustain and thrive in life, and it's cheap. Eggs are so cheap.
Yeah.
So, and another cool thing about the protein,
not that hard to raise either if you had a little land.
You just got all you need is a backyard nowadays, really.
Yeah. And you gotta live somewhere where you could do it, but yeah.
A lot of nutritionalists call eggs liquid gold because you can use 50% of the protein in those eggs for building muscle. Other foods have a lot lower percentage that is actually used
usable protein
for your muscles. Eggs is the highest that I know of.
Interesting.
Besides maybe spirulina.
Oh, okay.
But even with spirulina, you're only eating a little bit per day. So it's good to get it in there because it has every amino acid. It's a complete protein, and you're going to absorb all of it. But
I've added it to my daily supplement plan. I got a big bag of it.
Spirulina? Yeah.
I'm doing that. And
turmeric. You're talking about eggs.
And with my electrolytes right now.
So it's really important how you break a fast, too. So after fasting for as long as I did, for 9 days, there's what is called a refeeding process. And you're at a high risk level for refeeding syndrome. You can put yourself right back in the hospital.
Do you know what is refeeding syndrome? Like what are the symptoms or what happens?
Yeah, so if you break your fast with a banana and an orange and an apple, there's a good chance you're going to be going to the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah. All that sugar and glycogen right away is not what your body wants.
Are you just going to get like a crazy insulin spike or something?
Crazy insulin spike, yeah. Because what you really want to break your fast with, for me, what I found is bone broth. It's very easy for your body to digest, full of amino acids that your body can turn into collagen. And
it's also got like salts and stuff in there.
Yeah, electrolytes. Yeah. It's just, bone broth is the way to go. And it also will help coat your gut and give your gut a new lining. Because while you're fasting, you're getting rid of all your old gut lining. All that old gunk is coming out. Everything's coming out, man.
So since we did this last week, I actually listened to Dr. Pradeep. Dang it.
Jamnadas,
yeah.
Pradeep Jamnadas.
Yeah, so he had a video, and I listened to one of them today just before you got here. And he was talking about how fasting, so what happens to a lot of people, even if they're not overweight, even if they're not like eating tons of sugar or something, they have like an apparently healthy lifestyle and are apparently healthy, but he had this patient he was working with who still was getting plaque buildup in their arteries. And after looking into it, he found that the patient had fatty liver disease, but he didn't drink and he didn't smoke, and he didn't do all these things that were like the risk factors for developing fatty liver disease. But it turned out that the guy had leaky gut. And he said leaky gut happens when like the bacteria that's supposed to be in your colon is not fed the proper fibers sources that it needs. And so there's a fiber source inside the body that is just like the fiber that they want you to feed it, but it's actually in your gut lining. And so what'll happen is when you don't feed those bacteria with the proper fiber, they'll move up out of the colon into the digestive tract, and they'll start eating the lining of your stomach and cause a leaky gut, which can then lead to fatty liver disease and heart disease.
Wow.
Just from like not eating the right type of soluble fiber. But he said fasting is one of the greatest ways to like get that in check, because you can starve it out and it'll push it back down where it needs to be.
And then you can repair your body. Your body's gut can repair, and then you can do this refeeding. You
have to eat the right foods in order to repair your gut. If
or
you don't eat the right foods,
it with the right stuff, yeah,
you're not going to.
And you got to continue to feed it the right fibers, right?
Yeah.
After refeeding, though, of course.
Yeah, because after 72 hours, your body is ready to release these new stem cells, right? So during the first 24 hours, it's more of like a demolition phase. Your body is breaking down all the old stuff, and you're going to go into autophagy after 24 hours. And autophagy is going to reach its peak around 3 to 5 days of a fast.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's going to do for you is your body is going to search out all the old broken down and cancerous cells inside of you that is no longer needed, and recycle those into good energy and repair and heal itself.
Right, because if it can't get the resources from the food you're eating, it's going to have to start grabbing resources from other places in the body. And if it's going to do that, it's going to look for sources that are either hurting it or things that your body would like to clean up but hasn't had a chance to. But since you're not eating right now, that's what better opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, so when you do go to refeed, it's important to do it with intention and to do it in a specific order. That's why I say to start with the bone broth to help the lining of your gut and to reline it with some new collagen. After that, you're going to want to go for probiotics to rebuild up the beneficial bacteria in your gut.
So what type of probiotics would you?
I go for Greek yogurt with a little bit of blueberries, or you could do sauerkraut. You could do kimchi, although I wouldn't really recommend eating any kind of chili peppers on an empty stomach after you've been fasting for a while. It might not be the best option. So some sauerkraut with your bacon and eggs, just like a couple tablespoons of sauerkraut or a cup of Greek yogurt. And I like Greek yogurt more than just as much as eggs because it's so full of protein, low in sugar. It's got some healthy fats in it, low in carbs.
Yeah, it's got the probiotics.
Full of probiotics for your gut. So bone broth, then moving to the probiotics, then moving to some steamed soft vegetables, and then, finally introducing some eggs in there and maybe some chicken or fish. And after a long fast like I did, you're going to want to wait like 14 days before eating beef again.
Wow.
Because beef is such a complex food.
It takes a lot of energy for the body to break down.
Because you mentioned chicken and fish as being, but because they're less complex.
They're less complex.
Protein,
So most vegetables and fruits can have anywhere from 40 to 80 components in most of them. When you talk about beef, you're like talking about 4,000 components going into this one food. It's just a more complex food source. So you have to rebuild up the digestive enzymes in your stomach to be able to break that down again successfully.
Interesting.
And during your research, are there cases where obviously you talked about hospitalization, but where it could have the opposite effect, where your refeeding can trigger rapid fat? I mean, obviously if you just start eating junk food again, you're going to start building fat right away and stuff. But so I guess the question is what are the negative? What are some of the harder things to do in refeeding? That like not. I mean, obviously you can just eat whatever you want, but
refeeding was harder than fasting itself. Fasting is easy. You just got to make sure you get the right amount of water and salt in your body every day.
Yeah.
You can also do some magnesium and a little bit of potassium if you want. You don't have to, but
during the fast.
Yeah, during your fast. But refeeding, you just got to be very specific, and you have to time it out perfectly too. You can't eat all this at once. You have to eat a little bit.
So you should start with probably like intermittent fasting as you start to eat again, like during the refeeding, like maybe one meal a day type thing, or
not necessarily one meal a day. What I did, and it completely depends on the length of your fast, how long your refeeding is going to be. If you're only doing a 2 to 3 day fast, your refeeding process is going to be 2 to 3 days. But I would definitely say on the first day of refeeding to just do all bone broth. I wouldn't even eat any solid foods, because that's going to keep your fast going. It's going to keep you in ketosis. It's going to keep you in fat burning mode, and
it's just going to give your body a bunch of nutrients that it can start working with.
Yeah, and then you slowly build it back up from there. And every day you eat a little bit more until you're back to normal. You know.
And so like it's like a 2-week process then.
Yeah.
So like it is a longer, more complex to break the fast than it was to be in it, obviously, because you're just not eating and you're just maintaining your electrolytes.
And breaking the fast is still technically a part of the fast.
Right.
You know,
it's just the end phase of it.
Because your body isn't releasing any of these stem cells that it is preserving and making from your bone marrow until you break your fast. So let's say you broke your fast with a Snickers candy bar. Bad choice. Bad choice of a place to put brand new stem cells in your body, right? You want those new stem cells to go right into your muscle and go right into your connective tissues that need to be healed. So you want to get some protein in there. Yeah, I had a pinched shoulder for about 5 years, I would say, before this fast.
And what would happen with it?
Every time I raised my arm over my head, I would feel this crazy pinch, and I tried to get different massages, chiropractic therapy, tried some different stretches and physical therapy. Nothing seemed to really work. And after I did this fast, all the pain went away completely.
That's so cool.
So I know that Autophagy went in there and cleaned out whatever was
probably some scar tissue and stuff that is like, hey, we can get rid of this.
And then the new stem cells I released into my body went
help build stronger,
build it up again. Yeah, I actually had a leaky gut myself for a number of years, completely healed from the fast. It cleaned up my skin a lot. My skin was super glowing. On like day 5, I started getting all shiny. It looked like I had oil all over my face, but it was just...
Put some tanning oil on.
It looked like it, but I was just,
I remember you showed me the picture, Yeah.
You said you were getting a bunch of people were just commenting on your skin.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And also, you just mentally feel great while fasting. You go into a place of clarity and a place of synchronicities.
Yeah, well, because your brain has to start running on ketones because you don't have the sugar source anymore to run your brain. And so...
It's much cleaner, more clarity.
Well, there's a bunch of research showing like ketogenesis, ketogenic diets, even carnivore diets are like hugely helpful for people with like epileptic conditions and different neurological disorders because the brain,
the good fats.
The brain runs totally differently when it runs on ketones, and it can cause a lot of these types of conditions to either, if not go away, like rapidly improve like wildly.
Well, I know that our brain relies on good, healthy fats too. Like it's made up of these.
I mean, it's a big fatty organ.
Yeah. It needs these to constantly rebuild itself and maintain itself. And so when you're eating your majority of your diet is these really good fats, then
even the carnivore diet itself, I consider to be a form of fasting.
Yeah,
because fasting is to do without something, right?
Right.
So I think the thing that's really helping people heal when they go on a carnivore diet, it's not necessarily that they're only eating meat that's healing them. It's what they have taken away from their diet that was creating the problem.
Right.
You know,
because it wasn't the meat that was the problem that they were eating before. It was all of the other stuff. It was the candy bar at 3 a.m. after you had the steak dinner, after you had the bunch of rice.
It might be something as simple as oats. It might be rice. It might be bread. It might be pasta. Right. You know, there could be so many things. And it may not
be the food itself. It might be some pesticide that comes on it because you're not getting a pure source and your body has this reaction to it, right?
So from that process of removal, I think it gives the body a chance to heal.
Yeah, and I think that's another big part of probably. So in the past, I did a candida cleanse. I read a whole book about it. Bought this like $500 worth of like supplements to like clear out my body of the candida. I lost like 70 pounds. This is like probably one of the best health shapes I was in since high school. I remember in the book, one of the things that he talked about is like, hey, like, because the way it worked is like you basically go to almost a pure ketogenic diet, even a little more strict, because they say no dairy either. So it's basically just vegetables and meat, and they allowed like certain types of fruits. But anyway, like it was really important as part of the process as you start reintroducing foods to not just like add a whole bunch of stuff, like some complicated meal with like 10 different foods you haven't had all together at once. You want to like introduce things one at a time and see how your body reacts to you reintroducing that, because there's no better time to learn what your body's sensitive to than when you've cleaned it out of all that stuff.
Right. That makes total sense.
I think that would probably go for the refeeding process too, I would think.
Yeah, probably breaking a fast in any, like whether it's a carnivore diet, whether it's keto, whether it's a full water fast or whatever. Yeah. As you introduce, that's a great time to introduce things that you have a suspicion that might be the problem that you've been eating, and then be like, okay, my body's reacting in a negative way. That's one of the problems. Stop eating that. Find an alternative, you know?
You also get to see how emotionally attached you are to food when you fast. Because there'll be times when you're not even hungry and you just want to eat just because you miss the taste of something. And you have to check yourself and remind yourself, no, I'm fasting right now. I'm trying to accomplish something. Yeah. I spent the rest of my life eating before this. I'm going to eat a lot after this. But for now, I need to stay disciplined. You know, you got to stay on yourself.
Trust me, dude. Like, it's like one of my like vices. Like, it's one of those things like for so long in my life, like, if I have some sort of stress or some sort of even boredom, like it's like a response to states of mind or emotions to like, oh, okay, we'll just go eat, you know, but like, that's not an answer to anything.
Well, yeah, it's not a healthy way.
You can achieve some beautiful states of mind from not eating.
Right.
Yeah.
You get this clarity and you have a connection with the source that we came from. That you can feel so much more in depth while fasting.
All right. Well, I think we went pretty long in this segment. Why don't we take a break and then we'll come back and let's talk about some of the spiritual and other
primal aspects of these things.
Yeah. So we'll be back in just a bit, y'all.
Enjoy this music by Jazz 94.7. You remember listening to that with Dad?
Heck yeah.
Smooth Jazz 94.7.
Dad listened to it? I don't remember listening with Dad, but I remember listening to it. Dave,
oh, yeah.
Dave got me on the Davis College radio station?
90.3.
Yeah.
KDVS.
They had some really cool like jazz segments and hip hop segments and stuff.
Yeah, Dad used to listen to, it would be at like nighttime when we're all in the car and he's trying to get everybody to sleep. And I remember staying up and Dad would have Smooth Jazz 94.7. And it would always be this like sultry voice and he's just talking real quietly and he's trying to get you to fall asleep.
You know what?
Like 9 p.m. in the car.
Since we have you on, I'm going to give you your dues. This guy got me into hip hop. This guy got me into dancing. This guy, you have very much influenced my life, Mr. Dave.
I can say the same thing about you, Mr. Dean.
Yeah, Dave is a longtime friend of Dean and a brother to us. He's been a family friend for a long time.
Yeah, we
growing up in
out.
our cul-de-sac back in the day, and
we started hanging out like the summer before high school, right?
8th grade summer.
Yeah. Yep. Back when our garage became like the center of the neighborhood where we all started breakdancing together.
It was the epicenter.
Stayed that way for a decade too.
Yeah, dude. It was great. It
was fun times. That old cul-de-sac had a lot of memories,
dude.
Anytime I'm in the area, I drive through. Well, let's get us into it. I want to play. You've heard it before too, but the AI music generation.
I have heard some AI music.
Dude, I wanted to play one for you.
A few of these. All right, let's check this out.
This is Hozier. Take Me to Church, but it's 50s soul.
Here we go.
Hozier, Take Me to Church, but it's a 1950s soul version. I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. Let's go.
Dude, some of these are so crazy.
My lover's got humor. She's a giggle at a funeral.
That's nice.
Knows everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every sun is getting more bleak. A fresh poison needs weak. We were born sick. You heard them say, my church offers no absolute. She tells me worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Take me to church. I worship like a dog at the shrine of your life.
Wow, they really changed up like the melody of the song.
I can't really hear it in my headphones. It sounds more like robots singing. It really sounds like AI right now.
All right, well, let's not put Dave through any more misery, but that's pretty good. That one, I don't even like, they really changed it up from the original.
Yeah, it was a completely different melody. I kind of like the original melody over this, but I like how seamless it seems when they do these AI renditions.
Right. No, it sounds like
I didn't think that was going to be robots in your ear. Sorry.
No, it sounded really crazy. It took me a second to catch on. I'm like, I'm not hearing what these guys are saying.
Oh, wow.
I'm over here like doing like, this is great. He's like, what the?
He's like, you're doing the positive stank face. He's doing the what the heck is this stank face. All right, let's hop back to fasting. So we were just starting to transition into a little bit of the topics of like some of the other less physical effects that the fasting can have.
Some of the spiritual and
yeah,
it really brings you a lot
euphoric.
of clairvoyance. You know, it just really cleans you out and takes you away from any addictions that you might have in life. There's all different kinds of things people can be addicted to, but when you get into a deep fast, all that falls away. You get really focused. You would think you wouldn't have a lot of energy, but you have a tremendous amount of energy. I was walking 10 to 15 miles a day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that earlier. That I forgot to. When you're on a extended water fast like that, are there recommendations for
Physical
the
activity.
amount of physical activity? Like, you probably shouldn't like go run a marathon, right? Or
You can actually
play
do...
a football game, or like try and beat your heaviest lifting sets while you're in the middle of an extended fast. Should you?
I think that you can do some workouts on the first few days, and that's going to stimulate your muscles and muscle growth, because after 12 hours, you start to produce more human growth hormone. So you actually are able to pack on muscle somehow in the first couple of days of fasting, even though you're not eating protein.
It must have convert everything then, like, because when you eat, there's stuff that you don't use, like that your body just gets rid of. So maybe when you do that, when you eat meat and then you go into a fast, it's like able to process everything because it wants to hold on to everything because it need.
Yeah, I didn't do any working out myself besides the walking, because I didn't want my body to be putting all that extra energy into trying to rebuild itself at this time. I'm more so wanting it to break everything down,
right,
and go deep into autophagy and really heal myself on a cellular level.
Yeah.
So that'll be harder to do if you're working out.
Yeah. Interesting. And this term that we've used a few times, if listeners, if you're not familiar, autophagy, or you can pronounce it like autophagy. So it's AUTOF or PHAGY. And it's the process, essentially. I think the root words basically is like self-sustenance or self-consumption. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So it's literally talking about the mode where your body is living off of itself.
Not only just yourself, not just the ketones, it's going for all of the degenerative cells,
right?
All the cancerous cells, all the cells that no longer serve your body, that have no business being there,
right?
That you normally can't clean out because your body is breaking down food 3 times a day,
right,
or 2 times a day, or however much you eat. But when you give yourself a break and a chance to just kind of relax and rest, this energy can now go in and go to places it normally doesn't go and start to heal your body.
Have you heard, like in your research, did you come across anyone else talking about like spiritual types of experiences they had while fasting?
So I mostly just listened to doctors and doctor research. So I didn't really research the spiritual side of it. Although, it's said that Buddha fasted for a very long time under the Bodhi tree. It's said that Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights.
In the desert.
Yeah, so there's a lot of connection with spirituality and fasting. And you really don't have to research it to feel it. You know, once you get to day 3, I would say, you really start turning on that spiritual side. You feel like a light glowing inside of yourself.
More connected around you.
You just
Did you
feel more
like
connected
it affected
to
your
everything.
dreams or anything?
No, I don't think it affected my dreams too much. It just made the law of attraction work more in my favor and more abundantly. So I started seeing more synchronicities. I started seeing my lucky number more often. I started thinking of new ways to heal myself, and
More inspiration.
just more inspiration to do good for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the it sounds like you were saying the connection between yourself and the outside world, and the connection between you and food was probably on full display. So it was like your brain is eating in on itself too, just like probably the rest of your body. It's eating those old connections that you used to have.
I was really disgusted with myself.
Yeah.
And I had been for a long time.
But you were able to see it clearly.
Yeah, I was
at that point.
highly addicted to sugar. And I couldn't break free from my sugar addiction. I was eating over 100 grams every night, close to midnight. Usually a whole $20 Dubai chocolate bar and a pint of ice cream and chocolate milk to wash it down. You know, I was just going crazy. And it was only at nighttime I would get this craving. And no matter what I did, I just couldn't break free. I felt like I couldn't sleep without this sugar. And after fasting for a few days and cleaning that out of me, I had no want, no need for sugar. My addiction just fell down and went away.
And it hasn't returned?
No, it has not returned. Nice. I did start eating sugar again, but only in the form of honey, maple syrup, and fruit.
Yeah.
And I still monitor how much sugar I'm getting every day. I won't go eat 100 grams of sugar from maple syrup and fruit.
Right,
you know, I'll still keep it at a reasonable amount.
Yeah, more natural for your satiate your hunger at any given moment.
Usually every day I'll try and keep my sugar consumption around, 30 grams or so. I was doing 20 grams, but when you eat a piece of fruit, you're already taking yourself out of that. A mandarin orange, although it's small and fits in the palm of your hand, a mandarin has 18 grams of sugar in it.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to take yourself out of ketosis with eating fruit. You can eat some fruit, you just have to eat a smaller amount.
And berries is typically what is recommended.
High in antioxidants.
Specifically blueberries.
Yeah.
So are you monitoring all your intake of food still?
Oh, yeah.
Like pretty closely?
I'm very conscious of it now. I usually start my day with either some probiotics for my gut or some eggs. One of those two things. And if I don't start with probiotics and I eat my eggs first, I'm going to get some Greek yogurt in later that night for dessert. I make sure to get probiotics in every day. I make sure to eat a half a gram of protein for every pound of my body weight. Right now I'm 240, so I eat at least 120 grams of protein per day. I monitor that. And it's not really a lot. But if you're working out, it becomes a lot because now you have to eat a gram for each pound of body weight, and 240 grams of protein in every day is a lot.
Yeah,
that is easy to achieve.
It's like a big old steak.
Yeah,
or two or three of them.
Yeah, one big old steak has 80 to 100 grams of protein
breakfast,
in it. So
lunch, and dinner, you're eating steak.
You really got to key in.
Yeah,
steak and eggs, multiple times a day.
But I'm not working out, so
yeah,
it's easy to keep it at 120 grams for now. I can usually reach that marker pretty easily. And one thing I'm trying to be conscious of now is potassium intake as well. It's really easy to be low in potassium, and it's also dangerous to be too high in potassium. There's a sweet spot, and it's actually one of the leading causes of death. Potassium deficiency. Yeah.
How does that manifest?
Do you have to be?
It can affect people in many different ways. It makes you very lethargic, tired, sleepy, just a lack of energy. And you might not be able to pinpoint why that is, because it seems like you're doing everything right, but your potassium levels might be low. So the only way to really figure out where you're at is to go get checked by the doctor and get your blood work done.
Yeah, there's some of these new medical services. There's a guy who's been on Rogan a few times. He went on Jesse Michael's podcast too. He's got, I forget his name, but he's got that company called Ways to Well. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of the company. I don't know much about what they do though.
So yeah, their whole model, and I know there's a number of companies that are doing this now, where it's like preventative healthcare. So like they take all of the modern testing that we can do now, and like you basically get tested once every quarter or so, and they do a full panel. They run everything that you can run on your blood, and then they compare it against everything that science can tell us about
those levels
and like where you're off in certain areas. And then they'll give you a sort of plan of action for how you might address this with like diet or exercise or whatever.
Supplements, if that.
And then the next quarter, when you get your next blood work done, you'll see what direction you're moving, and they can continue to like suggest tweaks and whatnot. And so the idea is, if instead of like waiting for you to have something wrong with you and then trying to diagnose you and give you a drug, right? Like the idea is to like try and get you to what we know is the healthy zone where all the risk factors for everything goes down.
Which is a much better way to spend the money in insurance. And like I'm spending a lot of money, you know, for my insurance, but if I'm only going in for well checks once a year, twice a year, you know, if that, right? Then, and they're only waiting for me to come in saying that I'm sick or saying that this is going wrong.
And they're really just like looking for a lump or looking for like high blood pressure or looking for cholesterol levels. Like they're not doing a comprehensive blood work for optimum health. They're just looking for like signs of like critical disease, right?
And nor are they going to give you anything that's going to get you to optimal health. They're going to give you a pill that relates to your symptoms, and they're going to try and fix your symptoms, but they're not going to get to the root cause of the problem.
And like the metaphor for that, and you know, so many people get caught up in the Western medicine system because, like, look, don't get me wrong, I'm amazed and like I feel like we're blessed for how much we know about modern medicine and about the science of how the human body works. Like, if I get in a car accident and my arm's hanging off, like, take me to the emergency room, like, let them put me back together, like, cut me open, do whatever you gotta do. They're going to keep me alive more than could have been the case at any other point in history.
And try to actually save your arm in some cases now.
But, and so they're great. And like, that's where our system shines. But it does, like, our system falls down in like chronic disease and preventative care and like helping people to optimize health rather than to just address sickness. And so, yeah, I think some of these systems like the Ways to Well it's pretty cool, novel, new approaches. And I haven't done it myself yet, but I know there's a couple companies. I forget what they are. I'll try and add some links to the show for you guys. But yeah, I might start looking into it myself. I don't know what they cost, but
yeah, I know Dave Smith promotes a.
He started promoting one of these recently.
He's promoting one of these like community-driven insurance companies where everybody pays a certain amount per quarter or whatever. Yeah, and everybody
like health sharing.
Yeah, so basically it's the same thing as an insurance plan where you have a deductible. You have to, once you meet your deductible, the rest of the community's pool of money starts paying for everything outside of that. Right. But it's a community of people.
And it's specifically designed for those big events, like those emergencies.
Yeah.
Like if you need a big life-saving surgery.
Right.
It's not really designed to like give you a low deductible to go into a checkup in the hospital. Like that's not what it's there for.
Right. It's a security for your family. You get something like that on top of like your normal like once a year checkup insurance you get from work or something, right?
Yeah.
But
I think it's cool that like we're starting to enter a time where like people are talking about fasting, people are talking about diet. RFK just got the food pyramid inverted. I just heard too, we got removed from the WHO recently too. Anyway,
they're scaling back on the childhood vaccines as well.
Right.
It went from when we were kids having like 11 shots you had to take in the first like 10 years of life to like now it's like 50 or 60 shots that a child must take by the time they're like in grade school.
And these things have like crazy
heavy metals,
adjuvants in them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a no-brainer. I think our system is not optimized for making sure people are healthy on a day-to-day basis. It's more about trying to address whatever ailments they have.
And, in a certain way, it makes sense because, like, we're talking about, like, a machine, like a medical machine. Like, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to try and sell you some stuff so they can make money, right? Like, the business model doesn't really support low-cost ways for people to treat and optimize their own health, right? Like, that doesn't align with the incentives of the system.
But what the system should do is do what they're doing, but allow and stop actively trying to discredit these other remedies and these other paths to health. Like, there's clearly a motive to stop a lot of these practices from happening because it is competition.
But there's a growing number of, like, highly credentialed people who are coming out on YouTube, starting their own podcasts, they're writing books. Like, they're making movements to, like, bring this knowledge to the people. Maybe this is a good segue to go over some of the people that you brought that you wanted to share with everyone. Some of the people you looked into.
Yeah, so...
Oh, sorry.
While I was doing my fast, I wound up watching a whole bunch of podcasts in my room. It's pretty much what I did every day. If I wasn't walking and exploring, I was just trying to get as much information as I could on fasting, weight loss, insulin levels, cortisol, anything to do with health and wellness. So I came up on these different people. Diary of a CEO is definitely one of my favorite podcasts I came across. And
he's kind of a general topic podcast, but he has a lot of medical and health type guests.
Yeah, he interviews a lot of different people, but if you just type in diary of a CEO fasting, you'll get a whole bunch of videos that come up with him interviewing different doctors on
truth,
fasting.
What keto diet is really doing to your body.
Yeah. So this guy is really awesome. Really good podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed this. One of the people he interviews is Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas,
who is the next one on our list as well, who has his own YouTube channel.
And he is a heart doctor, full of valuable information on diet and fasting.
Yeah, here's his little description on YouTube. Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas, MD, MBBS, FACC, FSCIA, FCCP, FACP. Oh my God, that's a lot of letters.
That's a lot.
The founder and chief medical officer of Cardiovascular Interventions, PA, in Orlando, Florida, where since 1990 he's been repeatedly recognized in local publications as a top doctor, performing thousands of interventional procedures in hospitals and outpatient settings. But yeah, he's got so much information about heart health and about diet and about fasting.
Another person I listened to is Dr. Mindy Pelz. She's the one that really gave me all of the really thorough information on refeeding. I listened to a lot of people speak on refeeding, but when I listened to her, what she said really makes sense. And she's very, very thorough and knows a lot about fasting.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here. Carbs that burn fat. Interesting.
Probably my favorite doctor to listen to on YouTube is Dr. Eric Berg. And he's got a ton of subscribers and a lot of people that listen to him.
He was a big part of me getting into the ketogenic diet originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you watch his YouTube channel before?
Yeah. His stuff's good.
Dr. Mike Diamonds is another one. And this is somebody who has, taken videos of himself when he's overweight and putting all his knowledge to test, and he'll show you the results himself. So that's why I really like his videos. He's experimented a lot with fasting.
He's really making use of his before and after photos.
And then I also really like Thomas DeLauer. think that's how you ought to say his name. He speaks a lot on fasting. He speaks on olive oil fasting.
I've seen this guy before, I feel like.
Sardine fasting.
Oh, wait, that was a different guy.
Muscle growth, all different kinds of stuff. Fatty liver. Microplastics. He touches on it all. The average American has a credit card worth of microplastics into their body every year.
Jeez.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yep. You also brought this guy up.
We eat a lot of bugs too, though.
Yeah, Paul Saladino. This guy is awesome. He did a carnivore diet for a very long time and was a strict carnivore diet person, and then switched over to eating mostly meat, but raw fruit and raw honey as well. He's got a bunch of interesting ideas on diet and nutrition.
Very cool.
Yeah. I got that. You see that olive oil one down there at the bottom?
Right here?
Oh, yeah.
Right below that.
What does the sign say? Oh, yeah. The
I
best
got that,
olive oils money can buy.
I got that gold one that he's got in front of
him.
him.
Oh, really?
And that has a polyphenol count. It's got a polyphenol count over 1,000.
Wow.
It was like $65 for that bottle.
Dang.
But that's not olive oil that
actually,
you want.
olive oils are.
What's that red flag? Is that
crazy.
Morocco? I think it's.
That's not the kind of stuff you want to cook with. You just take a shot of that a few times a day.
Yeah.
I've been using olive oil on my skin after showers and shaving my head and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Heard it's pretty good for skin too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So these are the people
Good
I really
moisturizer.
dove deep with, and
healthiest restaurant in California with tallow fries. Ooh.
Yeah,
you got to be careful with tallow because a lot of people, a lot of restaurants will advertise that they use tallow, they cook with tallow, which is fine. But then what kind of tallow is it?
Yeah.
And is it organic tallow? And is there anything added to it? Because a lot of people use what's called Flavor King tallow, which is a brand they were using at one of the specific restaurants I had been working at. I'm not going to air them out, but I noticed on the side of the box it said with RBST and with something else that was some huge long chemical I couldn't pronounce. And it turns out that both those things are forever chemicals that stay inside of your body for the rest of your life that you can't get rid of.
Jeez.
So it's really easy to get fooled by marketing. When you go and buy a package of ground beef, a lot of times it'll say 100% grass-fed, and right under it in small writing it'll say vegetarian-fed, which means there's a good chance it roamed some pastures for its life and ate a bunch of grass, and then for the last 20 days of its life it was fed grain to fatten it up.
Right.
Which completely throws off the ratio of omega fats in the cow, which can cause a ton of inflammation in us. So it's really important to make sure when you buy beef that it says 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. If you're not getting that, you're not getting healthy ground beef, plain and simple.
Yeah, and so,
I know your family. You guys went in on a cow, right?
Yeah, it's my sister kind of lives out in a little bit of rural outskirts of our city, and they have a neighbor who raises cows, and he slaughters 2 every year. He slaughters 1 in order to sell it, in order to make the money to pay for the other one that he slaughters for his own food. And that's all he does. He just raises just enough cows to slaughter 2 a year.
And it looks different too. If you see a package of ground beef from the store and a package of ground beef from your friend, it looks like 2 totally separate meat products.
Right, right. And it honestly, it tastes better. Dude, those freaking smash burgers we were making with that stuff.
They're delicious.
Oh, just incredible.
Do you still have some of that meat?
We do still have some of the meat. I don't think I have any more of the ground beef, but our freezer is full of that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you guys to finish it because I found a place up in Auburn that has 100% grass-fed, grass-finished, organic Angus beef.
I might get down on some of that then.
I'll throw down on a quarter for like $1,400.
Yeah, I've been meaning. I've been wanting to do the farm to fresh.
It's called Farm Fresh to You.
Farm Fresh to You. That's what it was.
Which
and
is
they do meat now.
They do. They're a local company in Northern California. There may be analogs to them in other places, but if you're in Northern California, definitely check these guys out. But basically, you set up a subscription with them, and they only source from local organic farms, and they only grow things that will grow in this area in this season.
Yeah.
And so you're getting different seasonal varieties of foods depending
Fruits,
on
veggies,
the time of the year.
meats.
I've noticed when you get those deliveries too, the fruits and vegetables look way more fresh than what you would see at a grocery store. For instance, if you get green onions or broccoli, they're just so much more dark green and vibrant and full of life. You can see it.
The flavors too are just much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff's, how long and how much of a process did that go through to get to your
to get to your grocery store, it's going from whatever farm to whatever warehouse to whatever distribution, then to like a grocery store most likely. Like it's a longer process. There are some grocery stores who do cut deals with like local
to bring it fresh
farms to bring in certain items fresh, but like the reason you're getting certain fruits year round is because they're being shipped from other parts of the world. And in order, they'll spray, they'll pick them early and like treat them with chemicals in order to like stave off like the ripening, so that the ripening can happen right as it's going on display.
Yeah.
And so it's not really truly ripe. It didn't actually ripen on the vine, and so it doesn't have like the optimum amount of nutrition that it would have otherwise if it actually ripened on the farm before being picked.
I've noticed with Driscoll's berries, you'll see them at Costco sometimes. They're always at Whole Foods. They're blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. I always taste gas on them. And for like the first 3 days that they're in my refrigerator, no matter if I wash them with baking soda and vinegar or whatever I do, I can't get rid of that gas smell and flavor. And I asked ChatGPT about it, and that's because they are releasing gas all over these berries, so they won't ripen too quickly before they get on the shelf and get to you.
Yeah.
And you can taste the difference. So I try and get all my fruits and vegetables from the farmer's market nowadays. I go every Sunday morning on X Street in downtown Sacramento.
Yeah.
They do an amazing farmer's market. I can get duck eggs out there. I can get all different kinds of mushrooms that won't be sold in the stores.
Nice.
They got somebody that makes local olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, high polyphenol count. You can get a bottle of that for $20.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, usually a bottle of high polyphenol olive oil is going to run you more like $35-$40.
Dude, let's take a trip down there. I want to stock up on some goods.
Yeah.
And they always have, like you said, the fruits that are being produced at that time period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a noticeable difference when you're eating fresh food as opposed to stuff that's been on a shelf and on a truck and on a airplane or on a ship or wherever.
Yeah. Dr. Pradeep, when he was on the video I was watching today, he not only was like emphasizing the fasting, but he's emphasizing like, look, you need to eat real food. You need to eat food that looks like food, not processed, not packaged, food that is grown or food that has like been organically raised and like is a whole piece of like meat and
then make it into something else.
Yeah.
Single ingredient foods.
Ingredient foods, right? Like, and he said even, there's all these hypes about like juicing and stuff like that, or like, oh yeah, I got all of my spinach because I throw it in a blender and make a green protein drink that I throw my protein powder with spinach juice. And he's like, yeah, but the problem is that you're destroying the structure of the food, which is what is intended for your body to process. And when you do that, you like, for instance, like he was saying, like the difference between like whole spinach and spinach that has been like sent through a blender or whatever is that the way that it feeds your microbiome is totally different.
You're shredding it and you're processing. You're doing a part of the processing beforehand.
Yeah.
So whereas your body would break down all those fibers individually and it have a longer process, now it's just going through your system like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's rupturing the cells and letting some of the stuff out that shouldn't be let out until the proper part of the digestion.
And now your body doesn't have to work as hard to digest it, so then your body gets weaker at digesting food and produces less digestive enzymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is a science to the way our bodies were designed and the foods that we were naturally eating back in the day. Like we had talked about this last week too, but it's like we were on this earth before we knew anything about food. It was meat and veggies and fruits that we were finding on the ground. We were hunting and gathering, and our bodies were designed, or at least initially adapted to that.
Right.
Right.
And that brings up the complexity of the fact that, you know, depending on your ethnicity and like the place of origin of your like genotype, everyone's going to have different things that work for them. Not everyone's going to have necessarily the same response to the same types of diets, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Inuit, like they just eat fat, basically fish and
blubber,
right?
Yeah.
Or like if you live in a tropical area, maybe there are certain trees that fruit all year round, and their body may have adapted to that. But
you got mushrooms.
Yeah, when you live closer to the equator, you're not really going through that harsh winter.
Right.
So if I take a Scotch bonnet pepper and I grow it here in Sacramento, California, I mean, there's a 99 out of 100% chance that plant's going to die when winter comes and the frost comes over it.
Right.
If you take that same plant and you grow it in Jamaica, it's going to live for 4, 5, 10 years. It's going to get huge. It's going to turn into a bush with thousands of peppers on it. It turns into a pepper tree.
And similar to the plant, if you're going to take a white boy who's clearly from Northern Europe in his ancestry and bring him down to a place like if he's going to live year round in somewhere like Hawaii or Jamaica and eat year round certain foods, like most likely my ancestors did not evolve with that type of eating pattern.
Yeah.
And so that may
your
not
genome
necessarily
might not understand that.
Right. And vice versa, right? You take someone from Jamaica and you bring them up, and like I just feel like nature has its way, and we have all come from different parts of the earth and our bodies have adapted to live off of the earth.
Right. And now is a time, as we're becoming a more globalized world, to start thinking about fasting and start thinking about these things that are like ways to take control of your eating habits. Because if you have 24/7 access to food and not great food, you're gonna abuse it.
Right.
Like that's just a fact. Like if you are, and I'm not saying I am, so I'm just saying if you can be strict and disciplined about what kind of foods you allow around yourself, you're going to eat those clean foods. Like maybe start with a reset, like a fast, and then get a farm fresh to you box delivered, as you're refeeding, and just start it then, like reinvent.
Yeah, your environment is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very critical.
Impactful, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're trying to quit eating ice cream, but you're in a house with your brother and sister that love ice cream, there's always ice cream in the house, it's going to be harder to stop eating ice cream.
Right.
But if you're around like-minded individuals, it makes it that much easier for you to stay on your path because you can control what's coming into the environment.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true, but also at the same time, like at a certain point, you have to just take responsibility and create the situation for yourself, and not allow everyone around you to be your excuse for not taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we have people with mixed diets in this house right now, and I'm trying to be more health conscious now.
I totally get it.
But so there's tons of junk food. But at any given point in time, I could splurge on some crap, but I've been maintaining ketosis.
You've always done a pretty good job at once you've set your mind to it, you do a pretty good job. It's more of like breaking it.
Getting to the point where I set my mind to it is the challenge.
Ultimately, yes, you have all the control, but if you're an alcoholic and you're trying to quit drinking alcohol and you're in a house full of alcoholics and there's bottles of Smirnoff at the table, it's not going to make it any easier on you to stay on your path. But if you're with people that are, drinking water and talking about fasting and talking about
I guess
cleansing.
the difference here is that everyone's very supportive and not trying to like influence me into unhealthy eating habits, right? So even though they eat differently, they're not being like, come on, Dean, just have a bite of ice cream.
Right.
Like, that's not happening here. It's all very supportive, even though people have their own things going on. So, so I think everyone's, if you are living with people who are not supportive of you
actively trying to prevent you from doing the thing you're trying to do, then that's a bad situation.
Doing the crabs in the bucket thing and trying to pull you down, then maybe you need to address that environment.
Yeah.
Or have a conversation and put that shit to bed before you
Or like you're saying, take responsibility at some point. Right. You got to take responsibility for your actions, and, if you can do it, you can do it. If you can't do it, you can't do it, but that's life. That's every decision anybody's ever made, is whether you make the right one or the one that feels right to you or the one that doesn't feel right to you.
All right. So, one thing we did last time. Oh, wait, there's a question that I wanted to ask you, that I don't think I asked last time, which is, in your research, with all these doctors and stuff, did you hear them talk about like the different types of medical conditions that fasting can positively affect? Like,
I can heal many different things.
Are there certain ones that are on the top of your mind that like you remember them mentioning?
It can help with Alzheimer's and dementia. It can help with psoriasis. It can help with diabetes. There's pretty much nothing I don't know if that fasting can't help heal.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest, fastest, and healthiest way to heal.
What a sales pitch, guys.
It really is. If you were to go out and get a stem cell injection here in America, it's going to cost you close to $100,000.
Right.
And I don't have that much money to spend on stem cells, but I do have 3 days to fast on only water and sea salt and stimulate my own stem cells.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful way to heal.
All right. So let's talk about an ideal fast, like going into it. What's the preparation? What type of supplies should you have? And like what preparation should you have for breaking your fast?
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, whether you're going for fat loss or autophagy. If you have some kind of like autoimmune issues you're trying to heal, it depends on how much you weigh, how much fat you have on your body. Everything is going to take some research, some personalized research that's going to fit you.
Right.
Going into the fast, I would say it'd be good to eat heavy protein and heavy fat for a few days before to get your body kind of used to eating fat. And as you start your fast, I would say start your fast at night. So have like a dinner be your last meal. So that by the time you go to sleep and wake up, you've already got, some intermittent fasting going on. You have a few hours under your belt. And if you can push it and make it to 24 hours, that's the hardest time of the fast. That's the only time you're ever really going to feel any hunger. And I can promise you the hunger will start to go away on the second day. And by the third day, you won't be hungry at all whatsoever. Make sure that you have some sea salt ready so you can get a teaspoon of sea salt with your water every day. It's going to make a huge difference. Most people are going to want to drink about 3 liters at least of water every day. And
would you plan on some like light exercise or?
Yeah, like I said, I was walking 10 to 15 miles a day. So I think walking is the best exercise while fasting. Even when you're not fasting, walking is the greatest way to burn fat and maintain muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're walking machines.
Yeah, we're made to walk. So definitely get your steps in while doing this. And do some research for yourself because you're going to have a lot of free time on your hands. Make sure you're not working. Definitely for your first, 3-day fast.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who has
started on the weekend, if you're
started on a
week
Friday
type
night
of schedule.
Yeah, try and do it like on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and hold yourself accountable. You're gonna eat after this. You've ate your whole life before this. You can go 3 days without eating. I don't care who you are. You just got to do it right. Women are gonna have a little bit of a different fast than men just because they have their cycle every month and they don't want to do this during that time.
Or especially if there's pregnancy involved or attempts at pregnancy, this can all have effects on that, I imagine.
Yeah, you would want to do this like 2 weeks before your cycle starts if you're a woman.
And I believe Dr. Mindy Pelz addresses a lot of this in her videos. I noticed some of hers that talked about these.
And the cool thing is your body goes for visceral fat first. Visceral fat is the fat that surrounds your internal organs. It wraps around your heart, wraps around your liver, wraps around your intestines. And I lost 25 pounds within my 9-day fast and my 14 days of refeeding. In 23 days, I lost 25 pounds.
Wow.
I'm sure a lot of that was water, but I'm sure a lot of that was visceral fat too. I went down 2 sizes on my belt. All my brand new pants that I bought for myself before I went to Barcelona no longer fit whatsoever.
Wow.
And you're in Barcelona with pants that don't fit, so you gotta go.
And I didn't have the right shoes out there. So if you're a tall guy like me, make sure you bring your size 14s out to Spain because you're not going to find them there. They stop at size 12. That's the hard cutoff there. People were laughing at me at Foot Locker, asking them for my size. So I couldn't really...
They're like, yeah, I'll order it from the U.S. Yeah. It'll be here in 2 weeks.
I couldn't really do any running or sprinting, which I tried to get into like on day, I think 6 or something. I was feeling really good. And I had Nike Prestos, which don't have any ankle support at all whatsoever. They're like a relaxed, lazy, everyday shoe. And man, my ankles swelled up so bad after I tried running that day. So I would say make sure you have a good pair of walk-in shoes with a lot of support. Make sure that you have bone broth so you're ready to break your fast whenever that is. If you need to break it on day 3, that's fine. If you need to break it on day 5, that's fine. But just have that broth so you don't got to go out and shop for it.
You had recommended doing the bone broth for a whole day after breaking the fast, right? For at least one of the first day.
First day, 24 hours of bone broth. You're going to want to have a cup in the morning, wait a couple hours, have another cup, wait a couple hours, have another cup, and get about 3 or 4 cups of bone broth in on your first day. Second day, you wake up. And this protocol I'm talking about is for a long, prolonged fast like I did. So anything upwards of 5 days. Your second day, you're going to start with more bone broth in the morning and then switch over to a probiotic with some berries and maybe call it at that and have some bone broth for dinner or maybe just some steamed vegetables later. And on your third day, you can start incorporating eggs in there. And once you get to like the 4th and 5th day, maybe you can start incorporating a little bit of fish or chicken as well. And you just build up your calories every day. You eat slightly more and more every day. So you're not bombarding your system with a huge amount of calories all at one time. You got to teach yourself how to eat again. You got to teach yourself how to digest again and get these digestive
and listen
juices.
to your body on how it reacts to these things.
As you're reintroducing it, like we were talking about earlier. Maybe try to key in on something that may be causing your body some harm.
Right.
I know inflammation is inflammation is like the number one cause of so many illnesses.
Inflammation is the cause of everything. Wrong. Yeah. Inflammation is what causes depression. I think that a lot of people will say, oh, I'm depressed because my girlfriend left me or my dog passed away or whatever the case is, something that's making them sad. Yeah, that made you sad, but to stay in this depression I think it comes from inflammation, because when somebody has something bad that happens to them, they might reach for cake or cookies or some kind of candy, which is going to cause inflammation. They might reach for an old fashioned and drink some whiskey. It's going to cause inflammation. They might go smoke. That's going to cause inflammation. So all of these things are going to cause inflammation in the brain, cause swelling, and you're going to feel even worse. And you're going to go deeper into depression. So you're going to reach for more of what you made you feel worse. And it's just this cycle that keeps repeating itself until you can become aware of it and break that cycle.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard people describe depression as an addiction. Like it almost becomes an addiction, like a subconscious addiction. Like I've heard the term, like, addicted to sadness or whatever. Like there's like a certain term I've heard before where like some people are just, they like to be sad because you get certain attention, you get certain this, you get certain that, or you're able to cope with certain things that also make you feel good. But that's another topic.
Yeah.
But it can be another addiction that fasting may help break.
Yeah. Fasting gets rid of a lot of inflammation. After 12 hours, inflammation starts dropping. After 24 hours, inflammation starts really, really dropping, and the cellular repair starts. I noticed inflammation in my gut on day like 4 or 5. I was just shocked at how much my belly fat had went down. And I still have the belly fat on the outside, but I'm talking about the visceral fat on the inside that's causing your gut to kind of pooch out.
The bloating.
The inflammation.
That's what I'm trying to address right now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people carry it. I'm not. I'm one of them as well. And it's it seems like a good way to jumpstart for anybody who's looking to start a health journey. Fasting seems like a good place to start this new chapter that you're about to embark on, whether it be a keto diet or carnivore diet or whatever it might be. It seems like a great jumping off point where you can kind of reset your body and
it's
recalibrate
a great thing to
it.
pair with changes in your life, like your eating lifestyle choices.
And we had talked about last time about like this might be beneficial seasonally, at the beginning of every season, doing a 24-hour, 3-day, whatever is more copable for your lifestyle or whatever, right? But starting each season with something like this, or like we had talked about before, how like we would fast in the wintertime. So like once a year, like if you were to take like we're hibernating, you hibernate, you're staying out of the elements. Well, if you're thinking of
an old school like hunter-gatherer lifestyle where you're chasing your food source, you're nomadic, there's going to be certain times of the year where the land produces fruits and you can fatten up on those fruits. And then there's going to be certain times of the year where there's plentiful vegetables for you to eat. And there's going to be certain times of the year where you're successful at hunting. And then there's going to be certain times of the year where you're less successful. And there will be, by nature, imposed fasts on you.
Mm-hmm. And like David said, like a fast just means without something, right? So like if your primary source of protein is meat, and then you have to go long periods of time without meat, you're fasting. Yeah. Whether you're still eating berries and fruits and vegetables and whatever else you
can fast from technology.
Yeah.
You can fast from alcohol. You can fast from just sugar. You can fast from, sex.
Yeah.
And practice semen retention.
Yeah.
You can fast from many different things for many different reasons.
And I think it's just such a natural thing too, because, there's not things in life usually come in like balance, right? Like there's opposites. Like for every inhale, there's an exhale, right? You're inhaling and you're breathing in all of these gases that you need to
only then
provide your body, and then you're expelling all of these toxic gases that your body doesn't want in. And it's a constant in out, right? Your heart is pumping high blood pressure, low blood pressure. Like we have cycles of night and day and winter and summer, And it just kind of makes sense that like we shouldn't stay in a constantly feed 3 meals a day, build, add stuff. Like it makes sense to like have the opposite to that, where it's like sometimes you're putting on and sometimes you're fasting and letting your body just get rid of. Like that just seems like a natural. It just makes so much like natural sense to me when you think about it that way.
Yeah, and for most people, a 3-day fast is all they really need.
Yeah.
5-day at the most. Mm-hmm. If I would have known what I know now, I would have stopped at day 5.
Yeah.
How often do you think is optimal?
A prolonged fast for like 5 days, I'd say like once a year.
Once a year.
But you can do like a 24-hour fast once a week.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when Dean was was saying about how it seems natural and the cycle of it all. Like it seems like giving your body a rest from all the food that you've been intaking throughout the week, and maybe on a Sunday, Saturday night to Monday morning, you're not eating. Just take a day off, let your body chill out.
But I think this also brings up the topic of like rest. Intermittent fasting as well. So like
throughout the day.
That's another big thing that Dr. Pradeep was talking about is like, he says one of the main things he recommends to people is like an 18-6 feeding schedule where you
18 off, 6 on.
18 off and 6 on as a way to like, you could still like get all the calories or whatever you need in that 6 hours. But if you combine it to that 6 hours, you give your body a chance to like wind down the digestive process every day and focus on something other than that. Mm-hmm. So I think if you move to like a schedule of eating where it's like maybe you eat like a late lunch and a dinner, and that's where you confine your eating to. Mm-hmm. And you can eat it. Then maybe throw in a 1 day or a 3 day every once in a while. But like, then similar to like every once in a while, there might be some like family event, some big celebration. You might have a piece of cake, right? So like, if you're going to have extremes where you eat a lot every once in a while for a special occasion, you should maybe have some extremes every once in a while where you fast. Yeah. Balance. Yeah. Balance, That's what this is all about, finding the duality of life and finding the balance. And, this whole show has been about discovering those same aspects of everything.
I no longer crave the cake anymore.
Yeah.
It used to make me feel good as I would eat it and afterwards. Now, if I were to eat a piece of cake, I would have to power through it. And when I'm done with it, I would feel terrible.
Yeah. And you would probably take such a smaller amount of it too.
Yeah. And not just mentally terrible, like not disappointed in myself for going, I mean, like literally my body hurts. Mm-hmm. Like it feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be more apt to like if you're, eating very clean like that, you're not necessarily craving it, but every once in a while your taste buds are like, that's still good.
Yeah.
Last time having a one bite of a cake or one scoop of an ice cream or something like that, where it's not anything to make your body sick, but it's enough to be like, that's good. And I'm good. I don't need any more.
Takes the edge off.
It's just like, it's like any vice. It's like everything's okay in balance, You can't drink a gallon of milk, but you can drink a cup of milk. You know what I mean? Like everything in balance is, proportionate to your situation.
You could drink a gallon of milk, but I wouldn't want to be around you afterwards.
No, I know. I'm just saying that would not be good for your
body. Not before the podcast, please.
But like, everything in moderation it seems to be fine as long as you can keep it in moderation. That's the key to anything, right? Yeah. Is maintaining the moderation.
Balance is the key to life, man.
Yeah. Well, and I think our body has like a very it's not like we've ever been without toxins in our world, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's going to be a freaking forest fire and you're going to inhale some crap that's like totally carcinogenic, right? But if you have a natural diet and your body's detoxification channels aren't constantly overwhelmed by the fact that you're always overeating, then you have a healthy outlet for your body to get rid of things that it doesn't want inside of it. Mm-hmm. Then you'll have a better ability to deal with things that shouldn't be there, I think.
I think that's fair to say.
I don't know. This is all really fascinating. Dave, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
We're almost at 2 hours here, so I think we're at a good spot. Is there anything that you think we haven't hit on that you wish we could hit on real quick before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'd say that fasting is pretty taboo, especially in America. For whatever reason, it's very taboo here. And a lot of people are scared of it. Oh my God, you're not eating for a whole day? 24 hours? What's wrong with you? You need to go get some food. And most people are going to have this knee-jerk reaction to you like you're crazy. And I'll tell you what, you're crazy if you're not trying to fast. You got to give it a chance. And you won't know how you feel until you do it. You're going to feel great. You're going to be full of energy. And it's something that everybody should try and experiment with at least once in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and sharing your journey. And I'm excited because I'm definitely going to do one here. I'm going to do like a 24-hour. I honestly, there's many days where I only ate one meal a day, and like I didn't have to eat that meal. Like I'm like a naturally, I don't usually eat a breakfast. If I do, it's just something light, like quick. But if I miss lunch, I'm okay. And if I eat a late dinner, I'm okay. And then I'll just wake up the next day. I almost never eat breakfast. And then I'll eat like a light lunch, or sometimes a heavy lunch and a light dinner. Right. Depending on how I'm feeling that day. But I feel like it wouldn't be too tough for me to do a 24-hour fast.
I think you can do it. I think you should try.
I think I will very soon.
Yeah.
I told my wife about it after last week when we had her. She's like, "You're crazy. If I go 6 hours without food, you're gonna know about it." I was like, "Yeah, no, I know." Like she needs her food. Like it's
right.
But she eats very small portions when she eats. So she just goes like, she'll eat like a small little bit. She's a snacker. So she just eats a little bits at a time throughout the day to keep her energies up.
People will convince you that they need their food. I will convince you that you don't.
Yeah. I tried to convince her, it didn't work, but hopefully when this podcast released with the audio, I'll get her to listen to it, and maybe she'll change her mind.
But I think we did a better job.
I think this is great. Great. I'm always a little skeptical on how it's going to go.
And thanks for being willing to come back and have the same conversation again.
Yeah. Did you record me this time?
I totally did this time.
He said he double checked it, so if he didn't,
I specifically recorded Tess, and I was like, "Tess, this is Dean's mic," and I was like, "Tess, this is Dave's mic," and I walked over there. I was like, "Tess, this is Drew's mic," and I stopped and I did the whole export process and brought it in. And I saw
all the audio channels,
all the mics working. So we should be good. If not,
we'll try again.
Let's just not talk about that because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
So if you have any concerns that you might be dealing with cancer, this is a really fast way to deal with that, to get into autophagy and eat it out of your body. If you got a pinched shoulder and it's stuck like that for a couple years, this is a really good way to deal with it. If you got a big old gut and you can't get rid of it, this is a good way to deal with it. Fasting can heal you in so many ways. And guys, thanks for having me on your podcast today. I really appreciate it. I had a good time.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming, dude.
Love you, brother.
Love you guys.
Love you, man. Well, thank you all for hanging out with us this week. This was episode 96, 2.0. And if you guys want to get in touch with us, you guys can email us at host@dualitycheck.net. You guys can go to our website for any direct. You can go to our website direct for anything and everything. We got all of our episodes up there. We got links to all of our social media, and anything that we talk about throughout the episode will be listed there. Down at the bottom, you see our links to all the different podcast links. If you like one specific podcast platform that you won't listen to any podcasts on it, on anything other than that, they are.
We should be wherever you find your podcast. And if you try and get us on a platform and we're not there, just let us know and we'll add it.
We'll try to get that up quickly. If you guys want to watch the video, if you guys want to see Dave towering over us here, if you guys want to see his awesome tie-dye shirt and our cool banner behind him, make sure to follow us, like and subscribe on YouTube or Rumble. And it'll help the algorithm push it to other like-minded people who are looking to change their lives, and one fast at a time. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Yeah, you can also, if you want to search through our episodes on the website, you can search through by keyword. If you go click on episodes at the top, you can scroll down and you got all these different keywords that I try and tag everything that we do.
Yeah, and the letters get bigger the more we talk about it. So,
right. So
UFO's still high on the list.
Click on Graham Hancock here. Here's all the episodes where we've mentioned him.
Boom.
So...
yeah, we covered his Netflix series on there.
We did a whole series about some of his episodes.
Yeah, pretty fascinating stuff. We got Bashar. Bashar was a early adaptation onto our podcast where we were covering a lot of his stuff. He's got a lot of fascinating
Dude, have you heard of Bashar,
videos.
Dave?
Yeah.
He's the channel.
He has an alien talking to him, right?
Yeah. Next time you're on the podcast, we'll have to watch some videos, some more videos together.
You got to come back for some other topics too, because Dave and I, we've had some. Dave is duality check material, people.
For sure. He's duality check approved.
Yeah, there's a reason why I ended up going down the route I did in my life. He's part of it. So.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Later.
Adios.